Hey y'all, welcome to Fixin' a Garden. We're in Georgia 8B, and today is going to be a garden tour. So welcome to In Full Bloom for the end of April of 2026, and we're going to take a stroll around the yard and see what all is in bloom. I hope you'll join us. All right, we're going to start out here with the roses. Y'all, they're starting to kind of peter out a little bit. They have bloomed and bloomed and bloomed this year, probably the best they have ever looked in size and in flower. And y'all, they just look so great, even though they're starting to kind of diminish. And underneath them are the Superbena Cobalt. They also have done so great and are coming to the end of their cycle. So we will deadhead them and allow them to come back again. These are the Atlas roses from Proven Winners. Y'all, every year I talk about at the end of the season, I want to pull them up, because they get black spot and they just don't really repeat bloom as often as I would like them to. But I have high hopes for this year, as I do every year. And I always hold on to the memory of what they look like right now, because this is what makes me keep them. We haven't had any signs of Japanese beetle yet this year, so I'm hoping that's a good thing. And y'all, right next to them, this is the Augusta Lavender Heliotrope. They get about 2 feet tall and wide. Y'all, these are just spectacular. I love them so much. Their color, they are very floriferous. They do reseed a little bit. You'll hear me talk about that quite a bit. But the color is it's just beautiful. Right behind it here in the back, we have some white Gara. And y'all, it's come to the end. This is our first year that our Shasta viburnum has really bloomed, and I'm sad to see it go. It's been in bloom now for a little over a month, and it was just covered. It flowers out throughout the length of the stem, not just on the ends. So it is an old wood bloomer, but y'all, it did spectacular this year. If you didn't see this one in full bloom, check out March's In Full Bloom. All right, and then I repeat again. So here we have some Gara in bloom. And next to this is Double Plate Doozy. Again, we moved this one in the fall. Wasn't sure it would come back. It's still a little leggy at the bottom. Probably could give it another shear back and it would do really great. Our gardenias that have been plagued with white flies, I think we have it under control some, and they've got a couple of blooms here and there. Y'all, the smell is just, oh, it's just perfect. Little perfumey, but light. And this is got a double bloom on it. I don't know the variety of this gardenia, because I didn't put these in. We did move them though, from up next to the house, because of course I'm not sure why they put them there to begin with, because they're a little too big in my opinion for our backyard. Maybe in the front yard it would be fine, but they're a good 4 feet tall. Our Golden Falls Redbud is fully leafed out. See, last year the leaves turned a regular green, or more of a grass green. They didn't stay the chartreuse. So I'm interested to see if that was some kind of fluke, or if it's just it doesn't get enough sun back here. I'm hoping they'll stay the chartreuse color, because that's just spectacular against the dark fence and all the other grassy green color around it. It makes it really pop. All right, here in the front we have some Perfect Perfusion Salvia. We've just had this is their second growing season. Our Hot and Cold Nephofia has put out a bloom. These plants, we have 3 of them, and this is the only one in bloom. But y'all, I will deadhead, or I'll cut the stalk all the way down at the base, and it will just keep sending out shoots over and over again throughout the whole summer. If you were with us, our planter back here is filling in really well. Here in the front, we have Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia, looking wonderful. And our Scentlandia plant is in bloom. I still don't really smell much from it. Everybody talks about it smells, but I haven't really smelled a whole lot coming from it. All right, our delphinium have gone out of bloom, so I will be cutting those back really soon, see if we can get a reflush of blooms from them. This is the first time I've grown delphinium, so I'm interested to see what it does, because it gets really hot here and I don't think that's really their favorite climate, so we'll see if they give us a reflush or not. And along the front of this border we have Truffula Pink Gomphrena. We just put these in, so they haven't put in too much size. Sorry about all the little flags. We were out of town and we got somebody to come and water for us, so we were trying to help them focus in on some different parts of the garden, and I just haven't pulled the flags back up. So our bee balm here, this is Midnight Oil, had gone over on blooms, and so I went ahead and gave them a snip back, and they're sending out a few blooms here and there, not very many, but I just cut them back probably about 2 weeks ago. This is Skydew Gold Blueberry. I'm afraid the heat has got them. It looks like they were in bloom, and it looks like there's a couple of blueberries on here. This is just an ornamental blueberry plant, so I don't expect it really to fruit very much. Here we have some blue scabiosa or pincushion flower. And y'all look, this is the pink lemonade Baptisia. Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. Now these two plants here are not as mature as the other ones, the blue bubbly that I'm about to show y'all, but I cannot wait until they are all their full height. Our Julia Child Standard, we're trying to keep the birds out of the plant because we need to spray it for black spot. So that's the pie pans. Not really pretty, but hopefully it'll do the job. Underneath here we have some, this is the pink perfusion salvia. The one in the front is a new one, so it bloomed a little earlier than the other ones. And what we'll do is we'll cut those back as well, and they'll reflush again throughout the summer. So I wanted to show y'all this. I'm going to step closer. This is Blackbeard penstemon. And I now can say that I know which ones are which. The two in the front here are Blackbeard, and you know that because they have purple on the outside of their trumpet-shaped blooms. Whereas these in the back here, we have 3 of them across the back. There's the third one over here. Those are onyx and pearls. We didn't see these bloom last year, so this has been such a treat to see them come into bloom. And I have to say, the onyx and pearls are in the back because they're supposed to get a little bit taller. But for whatever reason, the Blackbeard is actually doing better as far as height goes and flower. So I would definitely choose, based on this, presentation, I would choose the Blackbeard over the onyx and pearls, but we'll give it some time and see what happens. All right, we have another Scentlandia over here, and same thing, it gets a lot more sun, so I can see some of its blooms are already spent. It is hot and dry here in the south. I'm sure y'all have heard that already. And so the blooms aren't lasting very long. This is Cat's Pajamas, or as we say in the south, pajamas, Nepeta. And it's looking really good. It loves the dry, so it's thriving just fine. And y'all, this is the Upscale Lavender Bee Balm. I really have enjoyed this bee balm. It does spread a little bit, but not too aggressive. In fact, we are trying to do like a strip of this lemon coral sedum, followed by a strip of the Upscale Lavender Taffeta bee balm. And so we've been taking it as it's trying to encroach on the outside. We've been kind of cutting it and placing it in here in between to finish that nice drift. And this is a blue bubbly Baptisia, y'all. This is the reason why I wanted to make sure I got out here and filmed another in full bloom for this month. Y'all, this is a great native plant. Has a very long taproot. And the pollinators love it. Yesterday I came out here and it was just covered in pollinators. Really a no fuss plant. It does take a while. If you get it from a garden center, it's going to look very skimpy. And you're like, I can't believe that I'm about to pay for this. But every year the clump doubles or triples in size and it gets a little bit taller. And y'all, it is just beautiful. The only thing I wish is that it would bloom a little bit longer. But check out some of the newer varieties. I know they've been working on longer bloom time and some shorter varieties. There are a lot of colors to choose from. Like I said, we have the pink lemonade, which is pink and yellow. They've got, I mean, anything. They even have like a brown shade. Anyways, they have just about any color you can think of. So check out Baptisia. It would really be worth it. Now we have started cutting it or giving it a shear back about June because it gets kind of floppy at the top. Not bad, but just it kind of just leans a little bit. But if we'll shear it back in June, it looks great and looks like a little small hedge. We'll show y'all that as the time comes. Here we go. Our hanging baskets are starting to fill in a bit. We got some color going on. Was telling my husband, like, it's been such a weird year, and I don't know if it's the hot and the dry, and it makes it feel a little bit more like summertime. But I feel like it's later in the year than it is, and I'm expecting my flowers, especially my annuals, to be doing better than they are. And I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. It's not anything wrong with the plants; they're doing fine. I just am expecting more out of them than what I should be expecting this time of year. All right, so here's our Noble White yarrow that we put in the ground just a week ago. We have some pink Gara over on this side. We have another Skydew blueberry. It didn't really put any flowers on this year, and that's okay. We moved those both last year into more sun, and they really like their spot better. So I'm expecting them to kind of take off from here on out. Y'all, I love this flower right here. This is the Virtuoso series of Dahlia from Proven Winners. It's a Virtuoso Violet. And I have it paired here with Saffron Finch Supertunia. And I repeated, I think it's Safari Dawn. It may be Dusk. I can't remember. James Bertinia. I'm excited to see that one grow in. I think it's going to look really good right here. All right, we have some, this was Royal Candles Veronica. We just put in the ground. Y'all, the strawberries are doing great. It's just enough to kind of get a little snack off of every now and then. I can't make any strawberry desserts or anything with it. And we're so close to this agastache blooming, so I'll be sure to show y'all that next month. Back here in the back is our potato bags. I'll walk around so y'all can see those. They're doing really good. We're having to make sure we water them though with this drought. Y'all, here's my favorite part of the early garden. Outside of the roses, outside of the Baptisia, there's so many favorites, it's hard to pick just one. But y'all, I love this right here. This in the front, the pink here is opening act blush phlox. So it's a type of garden phlox. In between here is last year's unplugged white salvia that came back. Y'all, it is looking so awesome. And then we have here, we have one little bloom. Oh, this is a Superbena Cobalt. And there's our drift of Archangel Angelonia. We have Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz here in the middle, and this little bump out. So close, definitely budded up. Look at all of the flowers that's going to be in this incredible hydrangea. And I will say, in the last, in March is in full bloom. I wasn't sure if our Fun Yellow Clematis was going to make it, and y'all, it is. Hopefully we will have, there's one little bud about to open there. I don't know if y'all can see that. See if I can zoom in. So it's got a little bit of pink in the middle, and then it's going to be a soft buttery yellow. I'm really excited to see that bloom. And I will say we have one bloom on our hydrangea, so it won't be long over here. This is the Bloomstruck hydrangea from Endless Summer. I wasn't so sure if this one would do well. I mention it quite often that we had such bug pressure last year that everything really looked terrible. And then of course we had a good winter. We had a lot lower than normal temperatures for an extended period of time. So I was interested to see how the plants around here responded to that. All right, this is Kaleidoscopibilia. So many pretty colors. So we have some oranges, yellows, greens, all in the same plant, a little variegation. And this is Supertunia Jazzberry. Our weeping Japanese maple. I think this is Crimson Queen, but a landscaper put this one in for us about 9 years ago. So I'm not really sure. It still has a little bit of, that's its new growth color down here at the bottom. It was so pretty in the spring. And y'all wait till you see these containers. Look at that. Awesome to be able to buy gallon size Supertunias because they just look so much further along than the other ones. I had told my husband, I'm not sure that this isn't the reason why I feel like our hanging basket and other areas aren't doing as well, because I'm trying to compare it to this gallon size when those were just put in as quarts. But looking so, so good. We have some Surefire White Begonia. Y'all, it's flowering so much you can hardly see any green. It just looks like a mound of flowers. Some more Kaleidoscopibilia. This one still is, it doesn't get quite as much sun as the ones on the other side. So whatever bug or whatever we had took out kind of the middle part of these abelia. We have 4 abelia. It did it to all of them where they lost their interior foliage, and so they've been putting that back on. And y'all look at this, that is just amazing. So this is a Pink Tiara Supertunia, and I have to say I have no regrets on getting the bright pink. I love looking outside and seeing this pop of color. It definitely grabs your eye, and it makes me want to look outside even more when I'm in and wants me to come out and visit and see everything else. All right, so we have one jug left. That is Coleus that I started about a month ago. We'll see how it does. I know Coleus likes to be a little bit warmer, and so I decided to wait until later to start it. All right, so if y'all can see, we have every little section of our yard has something blooming. So I hope whenever you're laying out your garden that you keep that into consideration so that there's something always beautiful to look at. Thank y'all for joining me, and we'll see y'all real soon.